Hello and good afternoon. My name is Timothy Calnan. I'm a Petty Officer First Class in the United States Navy, and I would like to take this time to talk to you about the U.S. Navy's recent changes in 2019 to its tuition assistance policy and planning. So a little background on me. I'm a U.S. Navy sailor, been in the Navy for the past 9 years. I've been fortunate enough to utilize tuition assistance for 4.5 of those years. In which I'm almost complete with my bachelor's degree in communications. I would like to talk to you about these changes recently applied to the tuition assistance policy and instruction. With some heavy changes on the horizon for the fiscal year of 2020, we as Navy service members must recognize and adhere to these changes to continue realizing the positive and productive benefits of tuition assistance for our personal education. But it's also important that while we enjoy these benefits, they are not the primary reason for our naval service, as the main goal of the Navy is maritime readiness in peace and wartime. We must understand the limitations to our personal benefit that come at the improvement of our service as a whole. Chief of Naval Personnel, Vice Admiral Robert Burke, was quoted as saying that the service demand for tuition assistance benefits was 30% higher than this year than at the same time in last fiscal year. As a result, changes will be made effective October 1, 2019, which marks the beginning of fiscal year 2020. As some key details I'd like to outline for these changes, mentioned in military.com's education article by Jim Absher, there's a summary of these changes and pertinent details, which are utilization of TA benefits this year were at a record high, causing budgetary issues, resulting in the loss of TA funding by about May-June timeframe. It was just canceled across the board, which is not really something that's often seen, and that's because of that spike that Admiral Burke had mentioned, where 30% more than what was anticipated was actually utilized. So the total budget for the 2020 tuition assistance will have less funding for each sailor individually, but overall will realize more utilization for sailors. So more sailors utilizing benefits, less benefits per sailor. Now specifically, that starting in 2020, what that means for you as the sailor utilizing benefits is that rather than where last year they had a funding of up to 18 semester hours, so for most courses that's 6 courses, and now it'll drop to 12 semester hours per sailor per year, which results in about 4 courses if it's the standard 3 semester hour class that you're taking. So something to be aware of when you're planning and budgeting. And there's of course always student loans, which should be a last resort. There's grants and scholarships depending on your eligibility. So then additionally, the requirements to qualify for utilization of benefits have changed. So while before all you had to be was any sailor who had joined the Navy and reported to their command and was on board for 1 year, they were eligible to start up those benefits. Now, sailors must now be at 2 years time in service in order to use that TA, which from the NAV message by Admiral Robert Burke, we're realizing that big picture Navy, and rightly so, is focused on sailor qualification and training in their job before utilization of those benefits. So they're absolutely in support of us utilizing benefits and bettering ourselves and our careers through outside education, but that shouldn't be the first priority. So with everything in current events, from ship collisions to ships running aground, issues with non-qualified or underqualified people performing high-risk jobs in certain training evolutions and environments, we're seeing that the big Navy is taking a shift in focus from large picture benefits to how can we benefit the service and improve our qualification and training over time for material readiness and personnel safety overall. So those are the main two outlines, and I want to thank you for your time. And as always, these resources can be found on Navy Personnel Command NPC website .mil. And thank you for your time.